Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thanks so much for clicking on my video today. I do really appreciate your time. I've got kind of a mishmash of things to share with you today, 2 finished items and 2 in the progress items, whips. And I've got some changes to my house going on, and so I don't know what the next couple of weeks are going to look like as far as my videoing, my filming goes. So if you get a different background once in a while, it's because my house is turned into a construction zone. So bear with me if you will, please. Or if I don't have a video, because we're super busy we're doing the demolition ourselves. So next weekend, my sons and their friends are going to come and be fed well and take out some teenage angst and destroy my kitchen so that we can put in a new kitchen. So anyway, so one of the first things I have to share with you is a cowl that I made from a free pattern from Expression Fiber Arts. Little Miss Shandy is so fantastic with her designs, and she uses a lot of fingering weight or sport or DK, and so with that being kind of a new realm of mine, I thought I would reach out to her inspiration and take advantage of some of her free patterns. So this one is called the Harbor Cowl, and I'll go ahead and insert a picture of its beauty here. And you know, a lot of patterns are made or named based off of the color scheme, and so sometimes I don't feel right necessarily doing it in a different colorway, but I don't want to copycat and do it in the same colorway, so I'm kind of torn on which way I feel about that. Let me know down in the description and in the comments how you feel about that. But it's this was a great pattern. You start with a chain of 132, so if you're like me and you don't like to chain forever and ever, just bear with it. And she uses one colorway for the entire thing, and as you guys know, I've been trying to use up some of my Hobby Lobby sale goodies, and so what I put together, you've seen this before. This one is called Horizon Line, and it's got these great turquoises and reds and oranges. And then I had one called Chestnut Ember, and this is all that's left from that. And then I had a couple of these as well, or just one of this. This one's called Cardinal Velvet, and it's such a beautiful deep red, as you can see, kind of that maroony yumminess. And so I used a 4mm hook. And if you guys have seen my video before where I talked about trying to put these colors together, and I did put them together in a project and didn't necessarily gradient them the way that I wanted to, I didn't do that this time either. It calls for more repeats than I did, and mine kind of turned out half and half instead. And so this is what mine looks like. You can't really see the color gradients or changes. So this one is the section where the orange is with the horizon line together, and then the section where the red is with the horizon line together. And so it's a great, you can see here, it's just a double crochet and then some chain spaces and some skip spaces. And I just love the way that the colorway worked out. Of course, it's so gorgeous. And there's a sparkle in the horizon line. There's a metallic sparkle. So that was really pretty as well. And so with the way that the cowl fits, you can either, it's a little bit warm out here this morning. I wasn't ready for that, so bear with me as you see me sweating. So you can either have it like just on the orange side, or you can have it just on the red side. So I kind of like that it's a little bit half and half like that. Or, you know, you can position it so that you can see all of it together. So again, I didn't do as many repeats, so you know, you could make it much longer than this. And I like this type of a cowl because you can easily just pick it up and go over your head if you need some ear warmth or whatnot. So I thought this was a beautiful pattern. It's, you know, one of those that's so easy because the yarn itself is so beautiful that you just want to do a simplistic pattern. So doing some rows, there's 2 rows of double crochets all the way through, and then in the center, you know, between the repeats, you've got 3 rows that are either 3 double crochets or 4 double crochets. So it kind of gives it a little bit of breakup as well. So you get some some good airflow. Look at the beautiful blue as it just pops through little bits here and there. And then there's some pinks in that horizon line. I'm trying to share right where it's at. And my camera's upside down. I normally lean to my right for my, what's that called? My lens. But it's backwards today. Oh well. So yeah, I thought this was a really, really great pattern to work on. It does call for holding 2 strands of fingering weight together so that it sort of bulks up a little bit. And I enjoy that. You know, not everybody wants to work with little teeny tiny fingering weight. So the fact that she even suggests it outright that you hold 2 together, I think that was brilliant. So I'm super glad I did this pattern and that I worked those colors together. Gave it some real variety on which way you wear it. So yeah, I'll link that below so that you can take a look. Now, I have been connected on Facebook to the Expression Fiber Arts feed, and she will put out free patterns that later get a price tag on them. So if I've ever shared anything, a link to what I've done, I picked it up as a free pattern. It might be a paid pattern now. So if you want to join her Facebook link thing, she offers a lot of free patterns on her website as well. So I'll link that too, because I think that what she's got going on is a good thing. So anyway, my next finished project is worked up with some of this Super Soft that was from the Mary Maxim mystery kit that I got a couple of, I guess we're going on a couple of years now. I've got these 2 colors and then a pink color, and you've seen me put these 2 together before in a cowl. And so now I wanted to hold 2 of them. Now it's somewhere between a 2 weight and a 3 weight, if you ask me, and the labels are somewhat in other languages or just symbols, and so I didn't always know what that means. Here's where your size, you know, what hooks or needles you should be using. So when I've been using this yarn, it's just kind of been winging it in some cases, and so I decided to throw together a divine hat, as most of you know it. But I first saw this done by a woman named Ruby Stedman, so I always link her video first, or only link her video. But you guys might have seen other crocheters do this video, or this hat, and it's called the Divine Hat. I use a 4.5 millimeter hook when I do my Ruby Stedman hat, and so it's that beautiful spiral that you see where there's shells in between post stitches. And so this is what it looks like with the colors worked together. I held them together and worked them up together. I thought that was a really nice, dense, yummy feel to the hat. So it fits a little bit larger than when I would normally use a worsted weight, but that always just depends on the material. And this is made with 80% acrylic and 20% polyamide. So I really liked it. I think it's kind of unisex, obviously, boy or girl, with the blues and the grays like that. And winter's coming. Don't be caught off guard by it. The next couple things I've got to share are just some works in progress. I wanted to share with you, or I wanted to start to work up one of the yarns that I dyed. And so that's this Felici, the fingering weight. This is what I would call sock weight or sock yarn. It's 436 yards of 75% superwash merino wool and 25% nylon in a 1 weight. And it was one of my favorites, if not my favorite, to dye when I bought this bare yarn from Knit Picks. So here is what it looked like in the cake. You can see I had to frog quite a bit, and I've wrapped it around again. But look at those beautiful colors. This was really one of the ones that turned out so well. I'll link the video below of when I dyed this yarn, because it was just amazing. So I worked up, yesterday was a day for me, I gotta tell you. I did 2 different videos, including tutorials, and lost everything, lost all my footage. So that's why this morning's kind of a mishmash. I wasn't ready to put these things together, but I got to get my videos out every 4 days like I try to. So anyway, so I was working on this and got to about row 20 or 21 or 22, in this beautiful shawl and realized that I had flubbed on one of the edges. And sometimes when you're working on something and it's got some waviness or it doesn't lay flat, you think, oh, it'll work out in the blocking. And I just couldn't stop staring at this as a boo-boo, so I frogged a whole bunch of it. But this is what was still okay from my project. It's just a little teeny tiny bit, but the shawl is called the Thank You Shawl, and I am going to continue working on it. I'm going to go back and redo what I had to pull out, but I really like the colorful ways that the colors are playing out. I thought that was really, really pretty. And so yeah, so I'll come back to that when it actually becomes something, and I'll share with you what that looks like. The last thing I wanted to share with you today is I wanted to jump in. I've had this yarn for a couple of years now. I got it on sale. I think it was like $2 a skein, and I've got 10 skeins to work with. It's an anti-pilling acrylic, and I had never picked up something specifically called anti-pilling before, so I was happy to find this. And I love the greens together. It's called Two Pines, and each of these is 153 yards of a 4-weight, and it suggests a 5mm hook as standard. And so I've got 10 of these guys, and so I spent some time last night trying to really figure out what I wanted to do with it. Originally, I wanted to make a garment, but the more I've been working with garments, the more this just feels like Afghan material to me. So I'm not sure. So I just started working it up. I didn't want to, first, you know, you don't know what that colorway is going to break up and look like when you start working with it. So that's a good reason to do a gauge or a swatch of something that's kind of changing yarn like that. You don't know what you're really going to get. So I just did a never-ending granny so that I didn't have to think about it too much. It was going to look choppy no matter what pattern I chose. So why not? I don't want to think a whole lot about it. So this is one skein, and it's 12 rows. And, you know, sometimes I think, oh, I'm going to use up all of this yarn. And then I start working with it, and I'm like, I got a giant blanket, and I only used half of it. So now what do I do? So I thought, well, maybe I'll give myself another shot at a cardigan, and just do like a square here, and then build the rest, you know, square in front and square in back or whatever, and then build up the rest and see what I come up with. So whether it becomes a blanket or it becomes a cardigan or something like that, I'm not sure. But that's what one skein looks like so far. So just a couple hours this morning while I was trying to talk through what video am I going to do for you guys. So yeah, so that's my 4 pieces to share with you today. 2 finished and 2 unfinished. Still working on some other, getting some tutorials refilmed for you. I've got 2 in the work, you know, 2 completed things that I just need to film the tutorials for, and a whole other thing I'm not going to tell you about yet because I'm really, really excited and I want it to be a special. So I'm going to keep you, maybe you'll be anticipating what my news is for that project as well, and you'll want to join me along with it. Join along with me for it. All right, guys. I hope this was enjoyable for you today. You know, a little bit of a mishmash for you, but it's what I've got working on right now. So I hope you have a wonderfully blessed day, and please do come back and see me again. Thank you. Bye-bye.